Send out our tweet, mute our Twitch page, and I think we're good. At least it looks like it is on Twitch. So, hello everyone, this is Chris Ingerson, and it is June 17th, and this is the June 17th TextQuest Devstream. So, today, it's a weekend, so we're going to continue on with our custom game content stuff. Specifically today, I would like to get audio loading working, so that's going to be a fun little challenge. I think I have all the bits and pieces ready to go on it. It's just at this point we need to hook everything up via menus and then see if it works. So the end goal for today, assuming it's going to take all day, is going to basically be importing two different types of audio, MP3s and WAV files. And then if we can get that to properly import, then we'll be able to actually set up audio for, say, like background ambience for each room, or maybe even sound effects. If we're not going to get to sound effects, like actually implementing them, but knowing that we can import certain types or certain formats of audio files is going to be useful information. So in the past, we've kind of messed around with this, and at that time, I think we could only load waves through Unity's sort of default method of loading files from disk. I'm curious if that is now expanded to MP3s. Last time we tried this, we had to try and come up with a like custom MP3 solution to get MP3s working, and we never finished that because that was right before I sort of turned off of the custom game content stuff for a while. But now, from the looks of things, it kind of seems to be hinting that Unity can import MP3s from disk and actually have them run. So I'm curious to see if we actually get that to work. We'll see. So anyway, to start off, we're going to be doing a new bit of UI. Specifically, we're going to add an audio sort of menu to the custom room view. So this is what the custom room view looks like currently. I've shortened change background image to just background image for this button. And then we have a new audio button here that when it's clicked on is going to open up the audio menu. And the audio menu is going to be fairly basic. The only thing it's really going to do is it's going to have the audio file that you want to have run in the background for the room. Maybe a pitch modulator so you can sort of adjust the pitch. And then a volume. And that's all I'm planning on doing for now, mostly because I would prefer not to have to try and like expose a bunch of parameters through the mixer yet. That's something that I'm sure will eventually need to get done, but it's not something I want to do right now. That seems like it would be a bit much. So the main concern for today is, in short, getting MP3s and WAV files to load and actually be playable as audio clips, and then setting up a way to manipulate the rooms so that you can adjust pitch and volume, basically. So this is going to be interesting. So currently I have a custom room audio menu class, and there's nothing really going on in there right now. But this is going to have a couple of UI controls. So we're going to say using engine.ui. So we're going to need some sliders for volume and I guess some sliders for pitch. So let's go ahead and say public slider. We'll do, I guess volume would be first. Volume slider. Public slider. Pitch slider. Alright. You know, I actually don't remember if sliders can have negative values. I don't remember if it's a range or if it's from 0 to something. Well, let's find out. I'm going to go ahead and do this real quick. I'm going to organize my menus a little bit more. Let's call this root. So this menu has now gotten complicated enough that it's doing something I generally try to avoid, which is sort of like nested submenus, but short of actually having brand new menus to do all this stuff in, I didn't want to do that. So we're going to kind of limit it to this one. Anyway, so let's go ahead and turn off this root now. So we'll have the background image and pretty much nothing else for now. Let's go ahead and add a new object near here at the bottom. This is going to be the buttons, basically, for which I'm actually going to steal these. Aha! I guess I could actually just copy that straight up. That will work just fine. Alright, let's see. We're going to have this be aligned to the bottom. Position. Oh, I probably should change my pivot. 0. and 0, and a height of 50? 75. That's probably fine. And we'll do padding of 5 on 5 on 5 on 5, maybe 10. Gotta make it a little bit more legible. Yeah. There we go. That looks a little bit better. Okay, so those are the buttons. Let's see. So instead of close and delete, it's going to be, I guess, confirm and cancel. Let's go ahead and change these texts. It's going to be confirm and cancel. I always want to hit enter whenever I'm done typing, but that's not how text fields work. So confirm is going to be over here. I guess we'll have them still be green and blue. That's probably fine for their color tinting. Let's rename this one to cancel. Alright. Oh, and you know what I almost forgot to do? I keep forgetting to turn on Nightbot. Aha, but I didn't this time. I did last time. Still getting used to that. Alright, so we have our confirm and cancel buttons. Next we need to set up our sliders, and then we'll be able to actually, hopefully, start importing audio and messing around with it. I'm not entirely sure how smoothly that's going to go, but it'll be interesting to try. Hopefully we can actually get audio functioning, at the very least, even if it's not very good. Let's see. Position, oops, 0. I guess I should, instead of actually doing that, let's just have it stretch, and then from the bottom will be like 100. Yeah, that seems fine. Okay. So let's get some sliders in here. So UI, slider. There we go. And, right, it's the stupid default sliders. We'll leave it as it is for now. I really should just have prefabs for this by now, because I hate redoing these sliders all the time to make them look right. Okay, so this one, let's set up some quick controls just to make sure that everything looks nice. So we're going to call these, instead of button grid, sliders, parameters, audio options, I guess. Alright, let's go ahead and... well, let's also have this be, I'm going to say 200 from the top. It's probably fine. Alright, and then we're going to have an empty game object here, have it stretched, have this go. This is also going to stretch now, and I know it's going to distort horribly for now, but that's fine. Then we're going to attach a layout, nope, not rendering, layout, vertical layout group to this. Auto expand width and height for this. Let's see, we're going to call this volume, I guess. Alright, it's going to be our volume slider. Alright, and we're going to need to do a couple of things to get this to look right. So for one, I need a label, if I can find one. Alright, let's move this up. So there is our description, single out scale. We're going to have this stretch all the way, 0 from the top, 0 from the bottom. Let's see, I'm guessing this is, yeah, height aligned. There we go. And let's have it only go down to 0.25. That's fine. And that means that this is actually going to start at 0.25. Let's bump that up to 0.5. Might be a bit much, but we'll find out now, won't we? Let's also have this one be centered. I guess actually they need to be aligned to the right, otherwise they're going to be not matching up. So this is actually probably going to be more like 0.4. There we go. And instead of description, this is going to say volume, colon. Should I call it description label? It's actually not bad, so I guess I'll keep that. And let's see here. Volume. I guess, let me think. I don't want to do this. Spacing should probably be something like 10, honestly. Padding, don't really need much, but I'll probably do 10 all around the board. I feel like I need to actually go a little bit further. So let's actually change that up. 25, left and right at the very least. Don't really need it on the top and bottom, admittedly. So maybe we should go 50. Jeez, it's a lot, but keeps it away from the edge. I don't like having controls really close to the edge because then they bleed and it makes it super hard to focus on. It's a weird thing. All right, so there's our volume. And, oh, you know what? Actually, that's not good enough. I almost forgot. So we're going to change our description label. It's going to go to 0.3, I'm guessing. That's probably fine. 0.3. That means this is going to go down to 0.35. Actually, probably going to 0.325. All right. And its max is going to be 0.8. I think that's fine. All right. And let me see if I have this, because I really don't want to remake this. Let me grab real quick, if I could. Apparently I can't. Select. There we are. I actually need my options menu. Scripts, blah, blah, blah. Come down here, views, options, prefabs. I want the graphics options, I believe. Give me a second here. Turn this on. Yes. Okay. I'm just gonna I'm gonna steal these two sliders basically, so that I don't have to redo them. Content grid. So you want AA amount, slider and input. These are good. I was a little worried that they weren't Text Mesh Pro for a second. I was like, that would have sucked. Let's go ahead and paste this. And then we can get rid of the graphics options. Alright, so here are our sliders. Very convenient. I don't have to worry about it. Let's copy this. Paste its transform, or paste component values. That means we're going to get rid of the volume slider, actually, and rename this one to be volume slider. Volume slider. Alright, that looked pretty good. Let's see here. So we're going to single this out. Oh, wow, I was like right on, wasn't I? Ah, nice. 0, 0, and 0. Looking good. And I guess that means that I can actually bump this up to like 0.8. I guess I had just 0.5 between them. That's fine. Okay, so that means this is 0.35 then. Alright, so let's go ahead. So that's what our sliders are going to look like, basically. And we're going to change this to volume input. Now, the reason I have an input field over here is because, one, we actually need to have a number somewhere that displays what this slider value is. Otherwise, it means nothing. It doesn't make sense. It's just a slider. A slider without numbers or context is kind of weird. Excuse me. So we need some kind of label to at least display the number. But we also should ideally have something that you can manually type in the volume you want. So we can allow players to be very specific instead of having to rely on dragging, basically. So let's go ahead and say volume slider, none navigation, all this stuff is fine. Min value 0, max value 100. We're going to slide this up. We will use whole numbers. Makes sense. And then volume input. Did I already set this up in a smart way? I really hope I did. It's going to say 100 by default, I suppose. Input field settings, point size, character limit. I could make it a decimal. I'm curious to see how that works, since the scroll bar is set to snap, but I'm fine with this. Everything else is fine, I think. Fade duration, blah, blah, that's all fine. Alright, so that's volume. Let's go ahead and duplicate this, and this is going to be pitch. Let's rename this to pitch. Alrighty then. Just got to rename these guys. Pitch. slider, and then pitch input. All right. So I think we're gonna be a little more. Oh, and this one can't be whole numbers, I suppose. So for now, we're gonna be conservative and just say pitch between. Maybe I should do -10. Let's do -5 and 5. I feel like this is a decent range, and I feel like that's actually too much range, but once we actually start loading audio, we'll be able to mess around with this freely and check it out. So let's see here. We have our options. So volume, we got to rename the description label. So it's going to say pitch now. And this is why I had it anchored to the right, because if it was anchored to the left or to the center, these colons would not match up and it would look really weird. All right, so that's the pitch slider, pitch input. Alrighty then. We have one more thing that we want to do probably, and that's going to be the test button. Do I want to have one button or two buttons? I probably should have... So I could have one button that says play, one button that says stop, or I could have one button total that just says play, and then when you play it, it'll change to say stop, and then you can click on it to stop it. Or alternatively, I could have two buttons, play and stop, and when you hit play, it actually changes to the pause button. No, we'll just that it seems like excessive controls. So let's just have a single test button that will toggle basically. So we'll call this the test button. I'm going to copy the confirm button from down here, paste this up, have it stretch, and let's go ahead and rename this to test. It's going to be our test button, capital T. Alrighty then. And I think that's all the controls we really need. Let's go ahead and double our spacing. Maybe bump it up to 25. Man, I either gotta bump it up or shrink this whole thing. So let's get our options from the bottom. 125 maybe. And you know what? I kind of want my test button to actually not stretch. Let's set our width to be like 500, 300. Yeah, that works. Oh god, everything's offset, so it kind of looks weird being in the center. Let's see, do I have anything else that I really want to do there? Not entirely. From the top, we can probably bump this up to like 225. Can I do 250? Yeah, I could do 250. That's fine. Alright, with that, we'll probably actually shrink this spacing back down to 20. Not that it really matters. That's not a huge difference. Alright, so those are our controls, and next we're going to have to do an audio file select. So this is going to be interesting. How do we want to do this? Let me think. We could display the name, I'm guessing, of the audio clip that's being used for audio background stuff. And then a select button up here, and that's probably fine, I would think. So let's go ahead and say, so outside of the options, let's make a new game object. It'll be anchored to the top, pivot at the top, 0, not 0, 3, just 0. We'll give it a height of 200. And we should be fine here. Let's go ahead and call this audio selection. Not sure what else to call that. Let's move it up to the top. we're going to have a new centered thing for it. A height of 100 is probably fine. Let's see here. We're going to have a label that we need. I don't know what to call this object now. Audio selection bounds. Selection? It's really weird. I don't know what else to call it. I guess I don't have to do that. I could probably... Yeah, it's probably fine. Alright, let's go ahead, do what I just did, except this is going to basically be like a weird pseudo anchor thing. So it's going to go only to about half. It's a little rough. Let's have it be like 50 from the left as well. And then let's give it a label. Paste this in. Have it be stretched to fill. Alright, and it's not going to be volume. Instead, this is going to be... Do I want it to just be empty? No. It probably should be something similar to this. So I guess I'm going to do that. It's going to be a weird thing. Give me a second here. Have this stretch all the way. 0 and 0. Alright. Description label here went to 0.3, so it's going to be a similar structure. Wow, that just did not work. 0.3. There we go. Oh, geez, it's offset. Bah! So I'm guessing this was 25 and 25? Nope, looks like 50 and 50. There we go. So let's change this description label to audio. I don't know what else to call it. For now, that's fine, I think. Selection controls. 1L. Alright. Okay, so we have that. And then we're going to have kind of a weird setup here. It will be good in the long run, but it's not going to be much right now. So to start, we're going to have an image. Let's make it a square, or I guess I call it simple. What do I call it? I call it something. Solid. I always forget. Alright. So this is going to stretch from 0.35 to 0.8. Let's see, do I want it to be filled in the center? Yeah, I guess I have to, don't I? Alright, so filled in the center. Let's duplicate this. Have it be stretched 5 and 5 and 5 and 5. 6 and 5. Let's go ahead and make it black. Oh, and yeah, 0 and 1. There we go. So this is going to be our audio file name, basically. And then we're going to have... Let's go ahead and say file name. Background. Let's copy our description label, paste this in here. We're going to have 0, 0, 0, 0. Probably have it stretch the entire way. This one is going to be centered, I would guess. File name. Let's see. Actually, would it be centered? Should it be anchored to the left or to the right? Probably needs to be anchored left. Because if it's anchored center and the file name is too long, you won't be able to see what it starts with. And if it's anchored to the right, same thing. If it's too long, the first of it will get cut off. And I feel like for file names, the start is the most important. So let's go ahead and do that. And then we're going to add a buffer of, I guess, 10 all around. Alright, that should be fine. Last thing to do is going to be taking a button and putting that in with the rest of this. Now it's going to be stretched, and its anchor is going to be 0.85, I believe. So 1 and 1 and 1. All right, so now let's shorten this. So height from 100 to 75. Oh dear, it's not going to be 50. No. 65. That looks better. Okay. So we could probably just, actually now that I think about it, we could probably just do this. Let's bump this up to 200. Yeah, it works. Oh, and I need to change that button, don't I? So instead of confirm button, this is the select button. And its text should say select. Cool. So that gives us our audio controls. There's some minor information we could probably put up here. For now, we probably should have looping. Should that be an option? You know what? For now, we'll just leave it as is. Well, I say that, but then I kind of want to have looping. Thinking of some options that should happen, like audio only the first time you enter, looping, and I don't know. For now, I guess we can just test loading and actual volume and pitch, see if that even works. All right, so let's go back to scripts, and we got to add a whole bunch of stuff. So we're going to say up here, using TM Pro, public, TM Pro, hold on, input field, TMP input field. I always forget what it is, whether it's TextMesh Pro input field or TMP input field. Volume input, public TMP input field, pitch input. All right. We're gonna have to do a couple other things. Oh, I need to do buttons, don't I? So let's do public button, confirm button, public button, cancel button, public button, select button. What else do we have? Test button. Let's go ahead and change this to test button. Do I have any more UI controls? Oh, I do need to reference the labels. And I think that would be it. So let's go ahead and up here, or I guess down here, we'll say public TextMesh Pro UGUI, audio file label, that's probably fine, and anything else. I think we're good. Go ahead and let that compile so we can get those fields going. And then we have to script everything still. So we're going to say private void on volume slider changed float value, private void on pitch slider changed float value, private void on volume changed string value. I don't know what else to call that. Private void on pitch changed string value. Right. Let's see what else. Private void on what's the first button? Is that the select button? Yep. On select clicked. private void on selection made, string selection, private void on selection canceled. Oh, well, actually, hold on. We'll leave that in there. I gotta remember how my modal stuff worked. I don't remember. I think it passes back just a string saying what you chose. In any case, let's see, on selection canceled, then we can get on to private void on, so we've done pitch and select on test clicked, private void on confirm clicked, private void on cancel clicked, and then private void awake, and all of the references being assigned. Oh, and there's one more thing I need to do. I need to actually come down here and say public audio source test source. I don't know what else to call that really. So let's see here. Okay, so now we can do all the assignments. Let's see. So volume slider dot on value changed dot add listener on volume slider changed, pitch slider dot on value changed dot add listener on pitch slider changed, volume input dot on value on submit, I suppose, dot add listener on volume changed. Let's go ahead and copy this over. Change this to pitch input on pitch changed. All right, now we get into buttons, correct? Yep. So select button dot on click dot add listener on select clicked. Test button dot on click dot add listener on test clicked. Confirm button dot on click dot add listener on confirm clicked. And cancel button dot on click dot add listener on cancel clicked. All right, got everything knocked out there. Let's see here. So we're gonna need to do a couple of things. I probably need to have room info. Oh, hold on. Oh, wow, guess what I completely forgot to do. Text quest. Forgot to namespace that properly. Let's see, so show, then we're going to say room info. Let's come over here to custom room view. Room info will be passed along. All right. Let's go to room info real quick because we're going to need to make changes to this class, not references. That's definition. There we go. Let's see, room ID, room name, description, background. Let's go ahead and say public string room audio is equal to nothing. Name, room, background. To peek this definition, we're going to have to add some stuff. Public const string room audio is equal to audio. All right. Let's see here. So instead of room background is equal to that, we're going to say room audio is equal to json.getStringValue custom content utility.room audio and an empty string if it's not there. Let's see. To JSON, same thing basically, just in reverse. So room audio, room audio. Alrighty then. And let's see here. So we need to go back to this. And we're going to have a private room info, current room, not current root, current room. Current room is equal to info. Current room is equal to null. Alright. Let's see, on volume slider change. Let's actually come up here to room info. So this is going to get a little bit more. This is going to get a little bit more packed, because now we're not only going to need audio, like the actual file or the actual file name. We're going to need stuff like the volume and pitch that it's going to run at. Geez, I don't know if it would be better to put that in a separate, like, sort of class, like just a collection of data. For now, I guess I'm not going to actually worry about storing volume or pitch. I'm just more worried about storing the path or the name of the file, and we can work from there, because everything else is basically tweaking. We want to get the main functionality working today. Okay. So we're going to say, for on volume slider changed, what do we want to say? We're going to say volume input dot text is equal to value dot toString. That's fine. Is there anything else that needs to happen? No, that should be fine. So volume input dot text is equal to, oh wait, no, what am I talking about? Yeah, of course. Then we're going to have test source dot volume is equal to volume slider dot normalized value between 0 and 1, and test source volume is between 0 and 1. All right. Let's see. What else do we want to do? So we're going to say pitch input dot text is equal to value, well, not value dot toString. Test source dot pitch is equal to value, I guess. It's just going to have to be the raw value. I don't remember if pitch is naturally 1 or 0. I might need to set my default to be 1 instead of whatever. When we open, this is going to be, for now it's going to be hard-coded, I guess, so we're just going to say volume slider dot, I guess, normalized value is equal to 1f, and pitch slider dot value is equal to 1f. I think we can do that. Let's see, what else do we need to do? We actually need to do a lot still. Okay, so right now, currently, we have the volume and pitch sliders basically changing the audio sources parameters as well as the text inside of our input fields. So on volume change for our input fields, we're going to have to say float. Well, that did not work. Geez, float. I can't spell today, apparently. Float float value is equal to value dot to float, and I need to actually come up here and say using sleepyowl.common. All right, and this can now be converted into a to float. Makes it very simple. And then we're going to say volume slider dot value is equal to mathf dot clamp between 0f and 100f, and then float value. And then let's go ahead and actually we're going to do sort of like a quickie where we just say volume input is equal to float value. Oh, I'm sorry, volume slider dot value. And then dot toString. Oh, and I gotta say dot text. Ah, there we go. And we'll decide that by saying if float value is less than 0f or float value is greater than 100f, and then that's where this is going to come in. All right, that's already going to happen here. All right, that works. I'm a little worried that I might get cyclical here. We will find out if that's the case. So once I change the volume on the slider, that's going to change the text on the volume input, and then that's going to change the value on the slider. So we'll see. We'll see how that ends up going. I'm a little skeptical that it'll actually break, but we'll find out. Let's see. So float value to float, volume slider. So this is going to be pitch slider, not value, is equal to all of this stuff. I guess actually we will. Actually, you know what? That's not a bad idea. So volume slider dot min here, and then volume slider dot max. That works out pretty nicely. So it's less than the min, and if it's greater than the max. I know that's a little bit longer in terms of code, but at the same time, I feel like that's actually not a bad trade-off. It's going to be our pitch slider. Value. All right. Do I need anything else for the pitches and volumes? I think they're fine. Let's go on to onSelect clicked. So here we're going to say UI dot get file select. Oh, load. No? Yeah, load file. File Explorer view, I guess. Okay. I always forget what it's called. File Explorer view. So we're going to say file Explorer view. View is equal to that. View dot open. Let's see here. File extensions. All right. Jeez. Seriously, I didn't give it like a params option. That seems like an oversight on my part. All right. New string. It'll be 2. And we'll do wave and MP3. And close others is going to be false. Oh, and before we do that, we're going to say view.on file selected plus equals on selection made. Okay, so that's good. And then view.on file on close plus equal on selection canceled, I guess. Which is just a void thing, right? Is this something from... Okay, that's File Explorer view. Alright, guess that works. So let's go ahead and come down here. And we're going to do a couple of things. So on selection canceled, we're going to do this whole thing, and then we'll just remove our actual values here. Selection made. Do I need... No, that's fine. So the string selection is going to be the path to the object, I believe. So from that, we're going to debug.log selection. Then we will say file manager.load audio at selection, and then I'm going to need a callback. So I'm going to need private void on audio loaded, audio clip, I think this is what it wants. On audio loaded. Yep, good. All right. And oh, how wonderful! This is actually not good. I need to be sure that it's the correct audio. So let me go over here, go to definition. So I have a texture and a texture path callback. I'm probably going to need something similar for audio, so an audio and an audio path callback. Let's go ahead and copy this. So audio path callback, string path. Alrighty then. Let's see, where are you being used? Find all references here and here. Alright. So we're going to come up here and say load audio path callback. Let's see, same thing down here. Except, so it's pretty much the same thing I was doing with my texture, where I have two different coroutines and two different functions that basically do the same thing. The only difference is what they return, basically. And then we're going to want path in addition to that, I guess. All right. Could be good, could be good. I'm going to call this, yeah, path coroutine. Let's come back up here to this error. There we go. All right, so that should be all of that fun stuff. Let's come back here to our, where are you? Room audio. Here we are. Let's go string path. I think that'll work. Yep. Sweet. All right, once we have that, again, I guess we're going to, well, I guess not again. We're going to just say file name or audio file label dot text is equal to file manager dot get file name. Do I have that? Yep, get file name from path. Can I do comma? I guess not. Get file name without extension. Yep, that's what I want. So that's going to give us, instead of like audio clip.mp3, we're going to get just audio clip. And then while we're here, I guess we'll also say room info, or current info, current room dot audio is equal to file manager dot get local path, file manager dot custom path, then path. I think that's what I want. Find all references. It's the save file path. Okay. Okay. So for now, I'm going to have to just do this client dot get what dot get. Am I not using H? I'm using cbl.common. Then why can I not see client? Oh, because it's global. Sorry, at work I have something basically the same as my global, and it's called client, and that's a better word than global. I really should change mine over to client. Global.get, and we're going to say custom game author session dot save file path. All right. I guess that's correct. All right. So that sets the audio, and now we got to actually do something with it. So we'll go ahead and say test source dot clip is equal to clip. And I think that should be fine. Here we're going to say if test source dot clip does not equal null. All right, and we'll say if test source dot is plain. We're going to do something else. We'll do something else. So if it's plain, then we're going to say test source dot stop. And if it's not, then we'll say test source dot play. And I guess we'll change its label as well. So I should probably come up here. Where's my text from? Here we go. Oops. Come on. We'll call this test label. Come back down here. Test label dot text is equal to play, or sorry, test. Okay, and it's going to be equal to stop once we have it playing. All right. Confirm and cancel. Cancel, I guess we'll just say, we'll call close. I'm sorry, hide. And for now, I guess confirm will also do that. So long term, we're going to need, I guess, basically a bunch of values that we cache when we open the menu, and then we'll reset them if we hit cancel. But for now, I'm not worried about that. So let's... Okay, that was 150 lines of code, and... Oh, wow, it's already been like 50 minutes almost. Huh. Having fun. So, let's see here. Let's come up here to our room audio. Now we gotta assign everything. Audio selection. We don't actually need you anymore. So let's come up here, put all this stuff up. We have the volume slider, then the volume input. Get rid of you. Pitch slider, pitch input. All right. We have our root already assigned. We have our confirm button and our cancel button. We have our test button and select button. Let's see, here's the audio file label. Need the test label. Okay, so let's go ahead and rename these to be a little bit more. Test label. Oh no, what's going on? That's weird. Audio file label. All right. I need one more thing. Ah, right, the actual test source. Okay. I guess I could just put it on this. Let's go to audio, audio source. We won't do play on awake. Pitch is 1 by default. Okay, so I was right on that. That means I need to change this real quick. So pitch slider should be 1 by default. All right, pitch input, that means you need to be 1 by default. And for pitch, it's going to be, I guess, a decimal number. On focus, select all. Okay. Reset on deactivation, restore on escape key, hide mobile input, read only, rich text editing. Let's see here. There's something else I need to do. Where are you? Character limit. There we go. Ooh. I probably should make sure that my volume character limit is 3. There we go. Pitch input, character limit. Well, if it's a decimal number. Oh man, this probably needs to be something like 5. Let's see, pitch input, character limit. 4. So like 1.00. That should be fine, I think. All right. I think we'll be good to test this now. Although I do have some things that I need to do. Oh, right. assign you. All this pitch stuff is fine. Spatial blend, we will do 2D. We won't do it as 3D. Do I need anything else? Mixer group, I guess I'll put it under ambience for custom game. I don't think it'll... I mean, that's what it's going to be, so I should probably have that be assigned at the very least. And do I need to do anything else? Let's go ahead and turn on this. Okay. I think we're good. I think we're good to test this. I really hope that we are. Let's go ahead and hit apply here. All right. Let's turn off this UI and turn on the delay. And now let's see if we can actually import audio. That was weird. All right, let's go to start. Oh, not again. How? Why? Ah, no. What's happened? Something terrible has happened. Jeez, again. Hold on. I might be able to trace this. So this is a bug that we randomly found a while ago. And of course now we gotta wait the prerequisite 5 minutes for it to clean up. You know what? I wonder if that delay is from the cutscenes. Kind of would make sense, considering that on Thursday we figured out that had a massive lag spike. Ooh, could be true. Well, at any rate. Once this actually stops, I'll be able to look at my console. Hero request. I got 2 different requests. Alright. One from position color lerp. Oh. Oops. And one from, yeah, position color lerping. Okay. Let me fix that real quick. Position color lerp. Let's see, is this done just on update? Oh, it's that. Okay, I'm gonna comment out start real quick. That should fix our problem. For now. That was a temporary script anyway. That was just because I didn't clean it up properly. So we should be fine now. Okay. You gotta stretch. Let's go ahead and clear these. Let's try that again. I'm curious to see how well this audio stuff works. If at all, I will kind of be surprised. Alright, so start. We're going to go to extras, author mode, create, Zork, map. Let's go to, I guess, room 2. Oh, right. Forgot about that wonderful face. Audio and crud. Did I not code that? Did I just completely forget to do... No, it totally said to show it. Okay, do I have a null reference then? No. Then why are you... Oh. Ha 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 ha! I know why. Because showing it does nothing right now. I forgot to tell my root to be enabled. So I have to say root.setActive true. And then down here on hide, I need to say root.setActive false. Alright. It's going to take forever for it to bounce back. Is there anything else I need to do here? So we're setting our root to be active. Nothing really else needs to happen right now, I don't think. fine. All right. Let's go ahead and clear this out. Let it compile, and then we'll be able to test our audio. Play. I wonder if I could like do a sampler for the audio so that it sort of reacts to whatever audio is playing, so it can detect if you have too loud of an audio clip and say like you probably shouldn't do that, or you probably should have a quieter audio clip. Map. Okay, let's go back to room 2. Audio, and yeah, I guess that was to be expected. So ideally we would actually shut off the background. I just was too lazy to do that. So let's go for this. Holy crap, did it really work? It did! Well, that worked out pretty well then. Oh, and also I'm going to test this. So like 20.5. That was interesting. It went to 100. Okay, so that's clearly not working. Weird. Ah, right, and I need to... Right, I don't have looping working right now, so that's me. So we can stop it and start it. Alright, let's see what the pitch does. Oh god. Oh god, it's such a large number. Oh god, why does it keep snapping to its maximum? It's so weird. So like 1 just goes to 5. This is actually amusing. Sorry, that actually sounds like... I don't know what it sounds like, but it's amusing. And just out of curiosity. Oh wow. Oh god, it's so creepy. Okay. Wait, did it actually speed up? It does. Weird. It must like loop. Huh. All right. So we have that loading, which is good. Let's see. So I'm curious as to why this value is breaking. Let's go ahead and stop playing real quick. I'm going to come down here on volume change. I'm going to just debug what this is. Debug.log. Value, and then plus what it's cast to. Excuse me. Float value. Alright. So that worked out well for waves. So the next one we're going to test is going to be the MP3 file. And if we can load that straight off of disk, then I think we'll be in good shape. It means that I won't have to really do anything extra as far as loading audio goes. So that's fine. I wonder if it's like a weird percentage thing. Either way, I guess on volume changed. For the text over here, we are going to format this data a little bit, so it's going to be like 0.00 maybe. We'll do 0.0. That way we don't worry about it having that long trailing decimals like it was doing. Okay, let's come back here, let that compile real quick, and let's go ahead and do this for our pitch as well. Same thing up here, again, just formatting all this stuff. And was there something else I needed to do while we were here? No? Might as well limit our, while I have the menu open. Custom room. Oh, right. Yeah, we can add that. We need to close the regular information. That way it's not in the background. So let's go ahead and do that real quick. Um, where? Not in this menu. We want to go to custom room view. Here we are. Go all the way up here. Oh man, means I got to do events. Boo. All right. Let's do this real quick. So public delegate void. So we're basically going to create an event for custom room audio menu to fire, and that's just going to be menu event. It's not going to take anything. It's just going to be an empty parameterless thing. Public event menu event on close or clocks on close is equal to delegate empty delegate. All right, and this on close event is just going to fire whenever close is called, which will let custom room view know that it's been closed, and that can tell it that to show its base information again. All right, so let's come back over here. I need to actually have it fire that. So on hide, we're going to call on close. Come over here to custom room view, and we're going to be a little lazy right now. We're just going to say public game. Can't spell public apparently. How embarrassing. Game object. I guess we'll call it room info root. We will come up with a better name in a little bit. Audio menu. I'm going to come down to awake. Actually, before we do that, on audio clicked, private void on audio menu closed. And here we're going to say room info root dot set active true. Copy that, move it up a little bit. We're going to set it to false when audio is clicked. And then way down here in awake, I need to say audio menu dot on close dot add, nope, not add, just plus equals on audio menu closed. All right, so we should be good there. So now we should actually be able to have a better laid out, more clear menu. But let me turn on UI so we can assign all of those wonderful field references. And then we'll be able to test loading MP3s off disk. Let's see, custom game room, blah, blah, blah. Oh, that's the map view. I was like, why does that not look right? Custom room, here we are. Room info root, put you there. And that's all I need to do. Okay, well, that's convenient. Hit apply. Turn off this UI. And save. All right, ready to test. And while that's loading, I'm going to get a drink. All right. Let's go ahead and do start, extras, author mode, create, Zork. All right, let's go to room 2, audio. And now we can test. So actually, before we do that, okay, no errors. Let's see what it thinks that I'm giving it. That's interesting. So typing 25 worked, but it didn't reset this. That's weird. So if I say 50, it just goes to 100. What? Why does that happen? All right, we'll take a look at that in a little bit. For now, this is certainly a lot easier to manage now that they're not giving me like 5 trailing decimals. Okay, so let's select our object. Oh, interesting. For some reason, the second time we open this, it doesn't do what it's supposed to. Okay, so we did beach.wave. Let's look for fire level draft. Now, did that work? See, that's what it is. Streaming of MP3 on this platform is not supported. That's brutal. Did it even assign it? I'm curious. UI, view container. Let's see, custom room, root, panel, room audio. Okay, so that's the annoying part. So we can't stream MP3 files with Unity's built-in audio loading. which is very annoying because it clearly has support for it, but not on desktop, I guess, which is not exactly intuitive, but fine, whatever. Um, all right, so let's try the wave again. So it can do wave files just fine, but that means that I have to come up with a custom solution for MP3s. Yay! Let's go. Whoa. Okay, so let's go ahead and lower this. Oh, so at 0, it's basically stopped. Wait, hold on. So is -1 negative speed? It is! That's interesting. Huh. Okay. So, should I... should I limit this from -1 to 2 then? Or I guess I could do like -2 to 2. Because I feel like much faster. At 3, it's almost too fast. Like we just belt through it. Oh, and I'm gonna actually cheat here, and I'm gonna turn on looping. It should probably be enabled by default, honestly, but oh man, that's hilarious. Does that mean that I wonder if it'll loop if it plays in reverse? It sounds like it is. Oh man. Yeah, I didn't realize that it would actually play it in reverse with a negative pitch. Alright, well I mean it sounds like it's cycled through and it's repeating again, so that's cool. That's actually an interesting effect to allow people to mess with, so. I could see some people using that as like a custom weird background ambience to something. So, So we do have to come up with a solution for the MP3 problem. I think a while back when I originally looked into it, I did find an asset that did it, but I never got the chance to actually hook it up. So I'll have to find that asset again. I might still have it on my computer somewhere. And I guess we need to figure out why this isn't working. Why if I type like 10, it goes to 100. That is very odd. Am I setting its normalized value? Excuse me. Let's see here. Audio clicked. Oh, this is the wrong one. We want custom room audio menu. So on volume changed, we're setting volume slider.value is equal to math f.clamp between the min value, the max value, and our float value. Right? Oh, that's what it was. I put these in the wrong order. Okay. That's why. So I guess if I... Yeah, no, okay. So that was just my foolishness. Okay. Let's go ahead and stop this. Let's move our float value here up to the front. Because you're clamping the value between min and max, not you're declaring the min and max, then clamping the value between it. That's just, I coded it like it was a lerp function, but that is not correct. Alright, so that should fix the input problems. I'm curious actually why we have a little bug here with open, set refresh, set accepted extensions. Let me go ahead and open this real quick. Go to definition, set accepted extensions, blah, 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 blah. Open, if not as open, close other, reset info. Oh, reset info might be clearing it. It totally does. And accepted. does. And then refresh. Okay. So I guess I need to do refresh here. That should fix it. At least I hope so. Yes, okay. So let's see if that fixes it. Closing it and then opening it again. Currently, there was a small bug with my file explorer where if you looked like if you opened it up and then closed it, it would clear all of the file extensions. So the next time you opened it up, it actually wouldn't narrow the file selection down. It would just be all files were available. So let's see if that fixed it, and let's see if those minor adjustments fixed our pitching and volume adjustment problems. I am very sad, though, that MP3s still can't be streamed very easily through Unity. Just means I have to do a lot more things to get it to work properly. Back down here, room 2. Let's go to the audio. All right, so let's go to select. So you can see now we only have WAV files, MP3 files, and folders. So if I close, hit select again, good. So it still only shows those. So in the past it would break. So I guess let's try this. And I gotta figure out what I want to do here. I guess it should probably like overflow and then just be masked. I don't know what else to do there. Let's test that. So we do that. Let's try like 50. Oh, that was a very short loop. All right, so these actually look like they're working now. That's good. Okay. Uh-oh. That's interesting. So it doesn't like starting with a negative pitch. Huh. I wonder if that's a bug. In either case, so volume and pitch is now working as I would expect. Our audio seems to only be able to load waves currently. Actually, that's probably not the only thing it can do. Hold on, let me check something. I'm gonna drag some OGG files over from Quake. Oh, they're MP3s. Dang it! I thought I made them OGGs. Hold on. I think I have an OGG version of it. OGG, Quake, music. Yes. All right. Copy this over here. Nice thing about loading these things off of disk is that I don't have to actually stop playing to reload everything. So, dang it. Except for that problem where it's not going to look for OGG files. I got too cocky. Flew too close to the sun. All right, let me come up here to room audio menu. And I might as well, I guess, just make a public string array here. String audio extensions equal to new string. We'll have 3 for now, I guess. Let's see if we can do OGG files. So we're going to have 3. All right, so we're going to have, first one will be WAV, second one will be MP3s, and then OGG files. And I would think that Unity could import OGG files at the very least. So let's give that a shot. Oh, wait, no, sorry. Almost didn't do that right. Where are you? We want to go to on select clicked. Come up here, audio extensions. There we go. Let that go. And just to be sure that it's actually got all of the settings correct, make sure that the inspector is reflecting the proper values. Because it would be very frustrating to just have no extensions, because then I couldn't load anything. Let's see, we want room audio, audio extensions, WAV, MP3, and OGG. All right. So we should be good. I'm also going to turn on looping here. Oh, and I guess that means I need to hit apply, don't I? So, boop. All right. Now I can test. Go ahead and play. And let's see if we can get us some OGGs. Start. Extras, author mode, create, Zork, map. Over here, audio, Oh no, that's right. Track 2. Okay. I was gonna say like, did it not load? All right. Let's distort it so that I don't get sued by Trent Reznor. uh, that actually sounds interesting. Quake's intro sound or song sounds pretty good in reverse. In any case, okay, so we can load OGs. I'm actually curious what files we can load. Let me take a look at this real quick. I think so. There's an audio file format, and this is why I was a little confused initially on being able to load MP3s. Let me pull it up. Unity has audio file format enum. I think it's like audio format enum, something like that. Audio compression format? That doesn't seem right. Maybe it was these. Okay. No. Audio clip load type, I think. Nope. Okay. Well, let me just look for MP3. Maybe it was audio compression format. No, audio type. Here we are. Audio type. Yeah, here we are. So these are basically, you can get the type of audio that a clip is. And when I saw MPEG, I was hoping that I would be able to actually stream it from disk, but it doesn't seem like I can do that natively inside of Unity. And I'm guessing that's because MP3 is a proprietary format, unlike WAV and OGS, which are open formats. So that means that if I want to get MP3s to work, I need to come up with a custom solution. And I'm honestly not sure how many types of file formats I should try to do. Because the big ones are going to be probably MP3, WAVs, OGS, and maybe M4As. I have a couple of M4As, but I don't think Unity... Actually, no, I definitely know that Unity cannot handle M4As. Because Unity, by itself, like just like pulling in an M4A into the project, Unity is incapable of playing M4As. So in order for me to actually be able to do that, it's probably going to be an extensive rework. So I'm not entirely sure if I can ever support M4As, but I'll definitely take a look at it and see if I can. So let's see here. Let's add a couple of more features to our audio adjustments. So let's turn on custom room, turn everything on and off as expected. Let's get a little bit of information up here maybe. So let's do things like, we have our options. Should we have... Oh, it's actually kind of clipping out. That's probably not good. So if I bump you down to like 150, are you going to be okay? Nope. All right, so keep you at 200. So I'm thinking up here we're probably going to have the room name. So let's go ahead and just do a couple of things. So this is room audio. Come up here, have it stretch from the top. Anchored up there. I'm also going to steal a label so I can paste it up here. Paste this down here. Alright, and this time it is going to be centered. Actually, it's just going to stretch the entire thing, I guess. And we're going to have it be centered this way. Change it from that to room name. Alrighty then. So this is going to be room label. Label. I guess we'll call this room info. Let's move this up to the top. Let's get a image in here for a divide. Image. Let's give it a solid. Solid sliced. I'm going to make it stretch along the bottom. Again, anchored there. Position height of 5, I'm guessing. Let's do 50 and 50. So that's probably fine. Let's move. I'm going to call this divide. We're going to change this from 100 height to 50. That might be too much. 60. Not 610. 60. I bump this up to the top. That's kind of rough. I might move the divide and cheat a little bit. So let's change our pivot to be 1y. There we go. Gives me a little bit more room to breathe. So we have our room name, we have the divide, so it's a little bit easier to see where that breaks off. I could put information up here, so stuff like length of the clip, maybe. I don't know what else I would show, really, though. What would be good? What would be useful information for an audio clip to have? Because we have the file name here, which, by the way, I guess for now I should probably set it to be empty. So we have the file name. We're already going to know that. Oh, and actually, before I do that, let's go ahead and set a mask here. Mask. Can we just do a rect mask, actually? I feel like that would be fine. So we'll do a rect mask. Let's have wrapping and overflow. Top, I'm going to do a test. Okay, so from the top we'll have 0, I guess. From the bottom, 0. All right. And now if our name gets super long, let's just test that real quick. Test. Okay, that's fine. It clips. I actually think I can do UV masking. Sorry, wrapping and overflow is ellipse. There we go. We'll do that. Yep, I like that. That works. Set you to be empty by default. Okay, so now our label is fine. Oh, and actually, you know what? Before we do that, do I even need this mask anymore if this is set up? Nope, I don't. Okay, so I can get rid of the mask too. Convenient. All right, so we have the file name label set up correctly now. We need to set up options for, I guess, looping. And then we need to do some coroutines to handle automatically stopping when it reaches the end if looping is set to false. What else do we need to do? Can I think of anything else for audio clips? Let me find an audio clip actually in the project. Way down here, because this definitely has one. So we can get volume. I mean, do I really care about file size? Might be useful information, actually. Actually, I don't even know if I can get file size. So that'll be an interesting test. Okay. Is there anything else that would be good? File size and volume? No, that's probably fine. All right. Let's go ahead and close these. Where do we want to stick that on our labels here? Oh, and actually before we do that, let's go ahead and add some more options. From the top, we'll do 75 right now. Let's add, so not another slider really, but we just need to duplicate something. We'll call this one, instead of pitch, we'll call it loop. Wow, I accidentally hit caps lock. There we go. Single these out for its scale. All right, change our description to say loop. So pitch slider is no longer going to be a thing. Pitch input is not either. So instead, I'm going to grab my file name. No, well, actually, I guess not. UI, toggle. Let's do a couple of things. Delete the label. Well, not delete the check mark. We'll just change this to be solid. Background is also going to be solid. And not quite done yet. I actually want to do this. Stretch U from the left, or from the sides, 5. Our background is going to be, tell me that I have another one. I don't, but I'm going to have one. So this needs a new image attached to it. Move the toggle down. Source image is going to be our solid. Okay. Let's see here. Background will stretch, similar to the check mark. And like the check mark, it'll also be 5 from the edges. It is now going to be black. Let's change our toggle. All this stuff's fine. So this is going to be interesting. We actually want it to stretch vertically from the left, and its anchor point is going to be 0.35, right? With a max of, I guess, 0.35 again. That means that our height is going to, hold on, let's change this, 0, position 0, and width of 50? Nope. Let's see, what's its parent? 61? Okay. So 61-ish. I really should come up with some sort of auto detect or auto match thing, but let's see here. So we'll rename this to loop toggle, and this obviously is going to control whether the audio source loops or not. Let's go ahead and is on, which of course is infuriating because I have to do that. Jeez, freaking UI previews. Come on, I've made better tools than that. Come on, Unity. You can do this. So that's annoying, but it looks right. Let's see. By default, we'll probably have it be on. Was there anything else besides pitch that I needed for the audio? Let's see. Pitch, volume, and loop are kind of the important ones. Anything else that I wanted to expose would be getting into like audio mixer parameters, and I don't know if that's really a necessary thing. If people want it, then I can add it later on, and that's something I'm going to have to discuss with, I guess, people who use the tools. And if they want more control over audio, then I'm happy to implement it. But by default, I think pitch, loop, and volume are fine, and that's all you really need. So let's go ahead and close this out. Oh, except I need to add some fields here now, don't I? Close our File Explorer view, close global. All right. Where are you? Select button, test button, confirm. All right, let's get some toggles in here. So public toggle, loop toggle. Before I forget, let's go ahead and do, instead of audio file label, we'll say audio length label, and audio size label. Not sure what else to call that, honestly. So this is going to be an dry throat. Excuse me. So I've never actually tried to get the file size of something. Do I have File Manager open somewhere? I do, right over here. Let's see, file path. So I can get file path, blah, blah, blah. Let me try writing a function here real quick. Create directory, where would I put it? Right. Get file name, file extension, file directory. Okay, let's put it here. Public static, do I want to do string? Get file size, string path, return nothing right now. I don't even know if there's actually something for this, so let's look for file dot, I'm interested, this get attributes. That's probably not actually anything. So I know that we can do stuff like get access time and write time and all that. Open read. Maybe I can't. That's disappointing. Because I would actually really like to show that. Let's take a look at that. Start file. I guess actually we'll say system.io file size. I don't know if that's actually file info.length. Gets the size in bytes of the current file. That seems like that would be correct. Okay. So let's see here. File info, get files. Can I not do file dot? Really? I have to do directory? Directory.get files. Interesting. So that always returns strings. But this one has file info being returned. Oh, that's directory info. Alright. So I want to say get files, blah, blah, blah. Alright, so we'll do file info. Info is equal to new file info, and then it looks like we give it a path. Yep. Oh, wait, do not end the path with the directory. Oh, no, that's fine. So we would say path here. And then we would say info.length. And that is a long. So that's an int. It's not a string. Which means that we can get... oh dear. We should probably have parameters for this. Okay. This is gonna be fun. So let's go ahead and come back here. Oh, I thought for a second I was playing. I was like, no! File manager is going to be under sleepyowlsoft once Unity compiles. So I'm going to add a enum to basically sort of format the returned number. So by default, it looks like it's a long that's just going to represent how many bytes a file is. But it would be nice to say go anywhere from bytes to gigabytes, I guess. So I'm going to add an enum that basically lets you decide how you want it to be shown. So files, file path. Go ahead and say C# file size type. Representation. No, definitely not that. File size type, I guess. Measurement? I don't, what would you call gigabytes? I mean, they're file sizes, but they're measurements of file sizes. File size. Measurement. We'll do file size type. Yeah, I can't think of what else to call them. Alright, so let's open this up, reload all, which means it's going to jump around somewhere. There it is. Alright. I make my enums derived from byte normally, because I don't need more than 255 values usually. Oh, nope, that's going to be kept in common. And this is going to be auto will be 0. Bytes will be 1. Kilobytes equals 2. Megabytes equal to 3. And gigabytes equal to 4. Alright. And what auto is going to do is it's just going to keep sort of going up the chain until the number that's returned is less than 0, I guess. So for example, is it 1024, I believe? Let's go ahead and pull this up. Pretty sure it's 1024. It's usually 1024. It's not actually a 1,000. Oh, really? A kilobyte is 1,000. Huh. Then how many kilobytes are in a megabyte? Oh, really? I thought it was 1024 instead of 1,000. It's really 1,000? How many megabytes? Oh, actually, hold on. Let's go to megabytes to kilobytes. Kilobytes. Kilobyte. There we go. 1,000. Huh. So it is 1,000. I'm thinking of gigabits then. And megabyte. All right, fine. Who am I to dispute? So let's go ahead and that actually makes things even easier for me. Means I don't have to multiply by a weird number. Let's go back to someplace because it's no longer here. Custom content utility. We can probably close that. File manager. Okay, let's drag that here. And then we're going to say, in addition to that, file size type, or size type maybe. Let's do tooltip, or not tooltip, but returns a string. Ah, dang it. Representation of a file size, of a file's size. Path to the file. How the file should, or file size should be formatted. Alright, and that means that I'm actually going to need a public static long get file size string path. We're going to return, I guess we'll say return 0 if file exists at path. Then we'll say file info. Info is equal to new file info path. And oh, hello, Anthony. Welcome back. How are you doing today? Let's see. So we're going to say file info will return info dot length. So this gets us the raw long value of this. So we're going to say returns the size of a file of the past file in bytes. And this path parameter will be path to the desired file. All right. Simple as that, and that means that actually we'll be able to do this. Long size is equal to get file size, path, all right. And from there, we can now determine how we want to do this. So let's do switch size type. All right, case file size type dot auto, which will by far be the most intensive. Case file size type dot bytes break. I guess I don't actually need to do anything with bytes, do I? All right. Is your game doing okay? It's all right. We're currently working on importing audio for custom games. So we have OGS and WAV files importing, so you can just import them straight off of disk and then play them in the game. They don't actually have to be imported through Unity. Tried to get MP3s working, but Unity doesn't actually let you stream MP3s natively, so I have to find a third-party solution for that, which is a little annoying, but I'll manage on that. And currently we're setting up information on the file when you load it, so it'll say like how long your file is in seconds and then how large it is in probably either megabytes or gigabytes. I would assume it's going to be megabytes or even kilobytes, most likely, but we have to come up with a way to actually get file sizes, and that's what we're working on right now. So let's see. Let's go ahead and lay everything out. So bytes, I honestly don't think I need to do anything. So we can actually probably just not do that one. So let's change this from bytes to kilobytes. Come down here. Megabytes and gigabytes. Megabytes. Gigabytes. All right. So for kilobytes, so there's 1,000 bytes in a kilobyte. Well, don't worry. The game is definitely going to come out. The only thing that could stop it is me getting hit by a bus. And let's hope that I just don't get hit by a bus. Because I don't intend to not release this game. So for kilobytes, we're just going to divide our size by 1,000, I guess. Gets hit by a double-decker bus. That would be very impressive, considering that I'm not anywhere near where double-decker buses are a thing. So let's see. So we're going to say size divided equal by 1,000. All right, that works pretty well. Do I want this to be? No, it can be it can just be a string. So we're going to say size dot toString. All right. Let's see. And if it's megabytes, it's going to be size divided equal. So this would be a million. Technically, it'd be 1,000 of thousands. So 1,000, 10, 100, million. All right. And then gigabytes are just 3 more zeros. 10, 100 million, 1 billion. All right. So that's a pretty simple fix. So instead of that, we're just going to say for our auto, we're going to say while size is greater than 1. We're going to say size divided equals by 1,000. Okay. I think that will work. I think. So let's see. Should I actually don't know if this is something I really care about. That's probably fine for now. Let's go over here to our file size type. We can get rid of that now. Get rid of custom game session. That's just cluttering things. And let's go to custom room audio manager or menu. On an audio loaded, we have our path. Let's go ahead and say. Oh, did I not add that, or did I? Okay, good, I did. So we have a couple of things to do here. One, we're going to say audio length label dot text is equal to clip dot length. Oh, right. It's not going to like that. Plus S, I guess. That's probably fine. Yeah, that's fine. We'll have it be in seconds for now, and I think that's all it is, yeah. Not too worried about doing automatic conversions for that yet. I probably should have something for that, but it's fine for now. Let's go ahead and say audio size label dot text is equal to file manager dot get file size path, and then comma file size type dot auto. So that'll give us a good conversion. Oh, right. And then, oh, crud. Oh man. So I don't. The problem with auto is that even though it will divide our number nicely from let's say that our file size is 1 MB for the audio file. If we set this to audio, 1 MB is 1 million bytes. So it would come in, it would say auto. Okay, so 1 million is greater than 1. So we'll divide it by 1,000. That brings it down to 1,000, so that's 1,000 kilobytes. But it's still greater than 1, so we'll divide it by 1,000 again. That brings us down to 1, that's 1 MB, but I don't have any way of actually indicating that it's a megabyte, which means that I need to keep track of how many times I've divided and then basically try to determine what file size that is. Ew, boy. Okay. Oh man, that's kind of hard. Let's see. It goes megabyte, gigabyte, terabyte, petabyte. Is that correct? Pretty sure. Terabyte, petabyte. Um, so that'd be TB, PB. So, okay. This is going to be a little odd, but I'm going to go all the way up here. And this is going to have to be a static reference, I guess. Where are you? Persistent, blah, blah, blah. All right. So we're going to try this. Private, static. It's going to be a string array. File size. Names, suffixes, I guess. Suffixes. That's going to be nothing. Oh, and static string array. All right. And after instance, we're going to say private static string array file size suffixes. Oh yeah, I apologize, Anthony. We're doing like a lot of code stuff today, which I guess isn't totally unusual for the custom game stuff, but we'll get back into the visual audio stuff in a little bit. I just got to set everything up properly. Anyway, so we're going to say get return file size suffixes dot length is greater than 0 question mark. If so, we're going to return file size suffixes. Otherwise, we're going to say file size suffixes is equal to new string, blah, 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 all this fun stuff. Let's see. So we're going to have, I think it's just B, KB, is it KB? I actually forget what the appropriate thing is. Let's see, kilobyte. So it's, okay, little k, big B. Wait, is that what megabyte is? Is megabyte little m, big B? No, it's just cap. That's so confusing. All right, well, let me check that out. Byte. I'm pretty sure byte is little b. Right? Do we have... to be the uppercase letter B? Oh, okay. So it's just uppercase B, because bit is a lowercase b. So that's going to be B, and I was right over here, and then we get megabytes, which are MB. I'm assuming from there on we just keep going. So it'll be GB, TB, and PB. I feel like that's not correct. I feel like it's big B, little p there. Let's check. Gigabyte. Okay, so terabyte. Okay, and I'm guessing petabyte. Okay, so it's all right here. Weird. So kilobyte is the one out for some reason. Yeah, it's the only one that has a lowercase. Everything else is upper. In any case, so I seriously doubt that we're going to ever get past petabyte in this game. If someone tries to load a petabyte of audio, the game couldn't handle it probably. So I think we're safe by ending there. Um, all right, so let's come back down here all the way. File extension, file directory, file size. Here we are. So here we're going to say int size index is equal to 0. We're going to say size index plus plus. And then we will say string file size label, I guess. I don't know what else to call that. Size label is going to be, I guess, by default, just a B. If we're in kilobytes, then... Oh, and you know what? Actually, might as well make these constant, shouldn't I? Let's come up here. Public const previous directory. Public const string file size byte is equal to B. And we're just going to copy and paste that a couple of times. So kilo, mega, giga, tera, peta. Okay. So kilobyte, mega, giga, tera, peta. All right. So KB, MB, GB, TB, and PT or PB. And now I can replace these. So it's going to be a little bit longer horizontally, but it means that everything's in one spot. And it's very easy for me to adjust. So also, it's more performant in memory because they're consts. File size byte. All right. Let's come down here. It's equal to U. It's equal to U. Kilobyte. Let's go ahead and paste file size. Oh, I guess I need to do file size, and that's megabyte. File size gigabyte. And you know what? While we're here, I guess we'll go ahead and say we'll add tera and peta to this. Terabytes is 5. Petabytes 6. Okay, simple as that. Let's go ahead and copy this. So instead of gigabytes, this is going to be terabytes. Add 3 more zeros. File size terabyte. Let's copy this. And add 3 more zeros. And make it petabytes. File. Oh, that was not right. File size petabyte. All right. Pretty sure that I'm good for life now. I seriously doubt that there will ever be a time in my life where someone will try to upload a petabyte of audio file. What's the story of TextQuest? So the story of TextQuest, actually, during the weekday streams, if you're curious, I am currently reworking the starting scene, which has the bulk of the story in it, is you go to see the king, and before you can talk to him, a wizard shows up, turns him to stone, and then you have to chase the wizard to return the king to normal. So it's a fairly sparse story. The idea being that the plot itself is basically meant to get you adventuring, and then as you explore, you'll unravel a larger story of what's going on in the world, and then you'll be able to actually, explore and interact with people and things, I guess, to figure out bits and pieces of the story. Or if you want, you don't have to focus on finding out what the story is at all. You can just, solve the puzzles and beat the boss and win the game. if that's what you want. So it's an open-ended thing with little bits of hints and environmental storytelling. So there are NPCs, and there's not a lot of them. They're characters that are scattered here and there. So for example, there's like the troll in the sewer level. That's an NPC that you can interact with now. So you can attack him, obviously, but now you can actually talk to him if you desire to do so, and he might respond depending on what you try to talk about. Uh, so so yeah, there are NPCs, and there are other NPCs that I have. So that's the thing is there's not really, I guess, what you would call friendly NPCs in the sense like it's people that you can just talk to and not do anything else with. All characters in the game that you can interact with, you can attack and kill if you want, and they're not necessarily going to be important, at least not on normal mode. So on normal mode, you can kill them and still progress the story. You might not be able to do that on Sierra mode. On Sierra mode, if you kill someone, you might make the game unwinnable. But again, that's another quirk of Sierra mode. So, but yeah, there's not really what you would consider just a friendly NPC. They're just NPCs, and they can be ambivalent towards you, or they can be hostile, or you can be hostile, and then they can be hostile. In any case, so once we have our size index, size label, string plus size label. I guess we'll need to actually do a little bit of string concatenation here, which is unfortunate. Plus space. Actually, do I want a space? No, probably not. Excuse me. So I can probably do this. Just plus size label. Not worry about it too much. And once we're done here, we're going to be able to say size label is equal to file size suffixes of size index. And I guess just to be safe, we'll say size index is greater than file size suffixes dot length. Oops. Dot length. Greater than or equal to that. In which case we will say question mark file size suffixes dot length -1. Else we'll just do size index. That's just to prevent any any overflow problems. Not stack overflow problems, but index out of range issues. So we should be fine there, and there. Okay, so our get file size stuff should be fine. Did the game get greenlit? It did. I don't know what that means now, though. What with Steam Direct being the lay of the land. I should email Valve and ask them what that means, just to be sure that I can actually still put my stuff up there, or if I have to do another campaign. I wouldn't mind doing another campaign, honestly, for like Steam Direct, but that does mean I would have to pay another $100, which would be annoying. I'm not exactly made of money. Let's go ahead and save this. Now go back to custom room audio menu. Size, get file size, auto. Okay, I think we're good. So let's go ahead and let that load. And next, so we have looping on. Come on. Come up here to room audio. Grab our toggle. Sorry, wrong thing. Toggle, and then we need to set up our information. So I guess we'll just cheat and duplicate this. Move it way. Well, okay, so maybe not that. Let's go ahead and delete this. Change our options. From the top, 150. That looks decent. Let's change our loop toggle size width to be, I'm guessing 40 something. Yeah, 46. So 46 roughly. That looks fine. Alrighty then. Actually, to make sure that my file name still works, let's put in like a T here. Yeah, that's pretty nasty. Close. Dang it. Okay, give me a second here. Options. So from the bottom, let's bump this down to not 150. That's bumping it up. 100. Maybe 80. 100 is probably fine. All right. And that means that our loop toggle needs to go back up to, I'm guessing, like 50. Oh, actually, probably more than that. 50. No, 51. I was almost right. Yeah, it got green. I still don't know why it got greenlit, because I didn't have a ton of votes. I had something like 500, maybe. It did have a higher than average yes to no ratio, but aside from that, there was nothing remarkable about its numbers. So I really do wish they had told me why it was greenlit, not just that it was. I mean, I'm happy that it was, don't get me wrong, but it was, yeah. Oh, and before I forget, let's go ahead and change our pitch stuff. So we want to be -2 and 2. Oh, not -0.2, -2. There we go. So pitch of 1. Yep, that should be good. All right. So now to set up the actual information. So let's go ahead and do this. Do this up here. We'll have it stretch. Except it's actually, I guess, going to be stretched along the top with our anchor up there. 0y. Give it a height of, I'm guessing like 50. It's not going to be very big. Position Y is going to be something like -100. Oh, well, okay, -75. There we go. And get a height of 75 maybe? I can't do that. It's got to be like 60 pretty much. All right, so this is going to be our audio info. Audio info. Let's go ahead and get our label copied in there. All right. So this is going to say, zero this all out. So instead of loop, we're going to say length. And real quick, I think we're going to do 50 and 50, right? Yeah. So we're going to have length. Let's duplicate this. 1, 1, 1. 1, 1. Zero these out. All right. So this is description label is actually going to be the size label. All right. Let's go ahead and say like 100 GB just to have a nice base. So 0.325, 2.5 is probably enough. Well, let me think. I kind of feel like I need to actually have a format string that gets passed. So maybe something like this, string formatting, is going to be equal to just probably 0.00. So we'll have 2 decimal places. That should be fine. So let's go ahead and say formatting is our 2 string down here. All right. Custom room view. Where are we? There we are. Oh, geez. Sorry. For some reason, I just had like a massive brain fart. Okay. We're back on track. So I got to position the size label. It's got to be a little bit wider than that, so it can't be 0.5. It probably needs to be something closer to whatever Unity wants when it compiles. 0.6. Can I get away with that? Let's go ahead and have this be centered. It's going to be... Oh wait, and that's the length, so this is actually going to be something closer to like probably 1,000 seconds. We're going to have to make deal with an S. Can I make it like SEC? Nope, not SEX. SEC. S should be fine. Alright, so that's not going to be size label. That's actually the length label. Let's duplicate these two. They're going to be a little bit different. 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, and then 0, 0. Alright. So, description label. This one's going to say size, and it's going to be from 0.6 to 0.7. 0.75. Alright. Let's actually move our length label to 0.3, 0.5. I think that's fine. 0.5, 0.7. 0.7 and 1 is probably fine. That looks fine to me. We might, let's change this up a little bit. Let's do like 0.55. Then 0.55. Yeah, that's fine, I think. Alright. So description. Change this to size label. Let's have it like 100 kilobytes by default. Alright, I'm curious to see if this will actually work. I am hopeful. Alright, all the link stuff is fine. Let's go ahead and hook these up. Audio, so length label and size label, everything else is fine. Alright, let's go ahead and minimize this. Turn you off, turn you on, turn you off. Everything else is fine. Hit apply. Turn off the UI. Alright. So, or is it? Any big problems? Let's see. I mean, in general, I have a little bit of a performance problem. I really need to work to optimize and fix a couple of issues just so that it runs better on laptops. There is a massive lag problem actually currently in the first stage that's being caused by a third-party asset, so I have to figure out how to minimize that. It's causing a 3-second spike, basically for one frame. It is quite infuriating. So that's annoying. Oh, right. I forgot to... so let's select beach. Darn it. Got a null reference. I'm sorry, what? Hold on. Oh, I know what it was. Yeah, I was a little worried about that. Can I just... I guess I can just do this. Dot initialize... Nope. Not equal null. There we go. That works. Alright, we gotta wait like 5 minutes for it to stop playing. Do I still play Steam? Like, play games on Steam? Yeah. I usually at least once a week, and admittedly usually once a day or once every other day I'll play for a little bit. I mean, I'm a gamer. I like playing games. Oh dear. Compile. Oh, weird. Just had 2 consoles open for some reason. So yeah, I mean, I do play Steam. I do play games. And of course, I mean, I get excited about new releases and I go out and buy them and I play them for a while. I don't play them, all the time, obviously, because I need to work on the game. Um, but usually, I reserve Friday nights as my quote unquote game night where I don't work and I just relax and play games. It's a good way for me to also experiment with like a game I've never played or go back and see how a certain game did something. Um, and it's always fun to do that. Okay, come back down here. Audio. Let's see. Interesting. So it went all the way up to gigabytes, but I I have my doubts that it's that big. So I loaded Beach. It's 10. Oh, that's why. Okay. Yeah, we need to change how that number is being done. Um, find all references. All right. So maybe while size is greater than 1,000, we'll divide it by 1,000. That's probably actually better. So yeah, that was the problem was that it was yeah, I was prematurely doing it. So this should hopefully get us actual megabyte sizes. So we're looking at 10.7 megabytes for Beach, right? 10.7. Waterfall is probably way smaller than that at 421. Oh, you know what we didn't do? I forgot to turn on looping. Select audio loaded before test. Private void on loop value or loop toggled value test source dot loop is equal to value. All right. Then come down here and we're going to say loop toggle dot on value change dot add listener on loop toggled. Sweet. Okay. That's probably fine. All right. Oh, you have Alan Wake? Wait, really? Alan Wake isn't available? Really? Why not? That's weird. That's usually a game not being available on Steam is usually a rights dispute between the publisher or the developer. Between each other or between some third party thing. Really? The music license expired. Huh. Interesting. Yeah, that's something that's happened in the past. I know that Grand Theft Auto San Andreas had that problem, but it was kind of a different way. So I guess they just didn't expect to license it for very long. Was it like a 10-year period or something? Go down here, audio. All right, so let's try this. That's interesting. So, I don't know who to believe. So this should be the raw file size, but for some reason, for some reason Windows reports it as 10.7 instead of 11. Okay. Well, let's go ahead and stop playing real quick. I'm gonna turn off maximize on play, because I have to look at my custom room root, room panel, room audio. Here we are. Okay, so if I toggle this, good. Sorry. Let's see. Oh god, it's so creepy. I guess we'll speed it up. Okay. All right. So, oh, that is something we forgot to do. I forgot to make a coroutine that's basically going to wait for it to not be playing, and then it will reset this text. So, let's see here. Let's turn on looping. So if we leave this at 2.0, it should just keep looping, basically. Alright, so that works pretty well. Alright. Cool. So those controls all work. Let's go ahead and stop this. Select a different file. Uh-oh. I do not believe you. I cannot believe that it is 7 megabytes. Holy crap, it actually is 7 megabytes. Okay. Well, I stand corrected. It's an OGG file. It's an OGG file from a really old game. Jesus, it was 7 megabytes. Okay. And it's 308 seconds. That doesn't seem right to me. Sorry, that was super loud. Wow, it does go on for a while. Alright. Well, there we go. So, okay then. So it looks like it's accurately reporting our file sizes, and we're getting our accurate sort of indicators of what they are. I wish I could. Oh, I guess I could actually. Let's do waterfall. Yep, good. I wanted to test a small size. So 4.879 seconds. Size is this. That's fine. Cool. And turn this up to like 35. We can have a loop. Or we can have it go in reverse and loop. Cool. So, audio is in a pretty good place. So, let's go ahead and trim this down, set our pitch back to 1. I forgot, could we do 15.5? No, it's going to snap. Right. That's a little sad. So to get around that, I'll have to do some annoying trickery. But we can do that real quick, and then we'll probably call it a day. So we're going to write some workarounds to let us do points here. Oh, I guess that one is going to do it. The volume slider is set to basically do hard numbers, so from 0 to 100, but always in increments of 1. So if we enter like 15.5, it's actually going to snap to 16, and I bet if we did 15.4, it'd go the other way. Yeah. But we need to allow 15.5, so I have to do something weird where I like unassign an event listener, then reassign it, and then we actually handle it that way. So that's going to be fun. And then we need to have a coroutine that's just listening for basically the audio source to stop playing, and then it's going to toggle this back to saying test. Okay. So let's go ahead and do that then. Do I need to have a coroutine? Can I cheat and put it in update? Yeah, I think I can. Alright. So let's go ahead and we're going to say private bool is testing is equal to false. way down here at the bottom, we're just going to say private void update if not is testing and test source dot is plain, else if is testing and test source is plain. If not, test source dot is plain. We're going to set is testing equals false. Test label dot text is equal to test. Is testing is equal to true. Okay. Let's see, there are a couple of things that we should probably do, which is pretty much this. So I'm going to go to hide. Up here, if the test source is plain, we want to stop all that and reset everything. So that handles the coroutine. What was the other thing? We needed to handle... oh, right, the increments. So this is going to be fun. So on volume change, this is what we have to do. We have to do volume slider dot on value changed dot clear all. I'm sorry, dot remove all listeners. And then immediately we're going to have to re-add it. So that. Pretty much the same thing down here. So this is going to be on pitch slider changed. Copy this. Same thing. So we basically, oh, and actually, you know what? We don't care about this one. It's only for volume that we have to do that. So basically what we do is we, whenever we manually adjust the volume, instead of allowing the volume to basically adjust itself, we're going to remove the event listener that's being attached to the value change, then set the value on the slider, then reattach the change listener. And then we'll actually be able to continue, using the slider as expected, but it won't update the value. So let's see here, float value, blah, 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 float volume text. Yep, that's all fine. And then the last thing we need to do is say, test source dot volume is equal to mathf dot I'm sorry, not lerp, inverse lerp from volume slider dot min, volume slider dot max, based on float value. Okay, that should work. So let's give that a shot, I guess. Oh, and before I forget, so on select click, we'll, I guess, go ahead and say stop audio. Probably need to move that into a function. Do this. You know what? I guess since I have that update function going, I can just do that. Shouldn't matter. Basically, I want to make sure that I stop playing the current audio clip whenever I look for a new audio clip to assign. Okay, everything else should be fine. So let's see how this works. See if our menus work as expected. Alright, clear that stuff. Let's hit play. I should maximize on play. Start. Let's go to extras, author mode, create, Zork, map, 2. Actually, no, let's do room 1. I'm getting tired of looking at my stretched face. Audio. Okay, so let's select beach, not wave. All right. Let's go ahead and test. Okay, let's bump this down to like 20.5. Good, it worked. Nice. So we can do like, ooh, I probably should have that pop up with 0, in that case. So let's do like 10.5. Okay. We have looping set. Could do like 10.25. Okay, I wanted to make sure that it would fit. And I don't think I can do more than that. I cannot. I can only do... That's fine. I only want to be able to do 2 anymore. Or anyway. I feel like anymore, and that's crazy. So let's go ahead and bump that down to an even 10. And... Okay. So... let's turn off looping. Turn on the pitch. So this should get us through about twice as fast, and we'll see if our stop label changes properly. Let's see. Good. Good, good, good. Even when it's returning to a regular pitch, it sounds weird. Let's see. So let's turn on looping, I guess. And... we hit cancel. Good, it stopped it. Come up here. Technically, it looks like everything's still there, but I'm guessing that's because we haven't actually reset anything. Let's go ahead and cancel here. Let's hit... let's stop playing. I need to make some final adjustments, and then we'll probably call it a day. So first off, we're going to do I have a room label? Nope, gotta assign that. Ah! I'm gonna change this to, say, room label. Alright, so here in show, we're gonna say room label.text is equal to info.room name. Cool. And should subsidize that. Or not subsidize, but subdivide, I guess. Probably should. But we're not going to worry about that today. So let's go ahead and that out. Actually, you know something? I'm curious. Let's come over here. Let's take a look at Zork. Cancel this. So here's my room. Okay, so it looks like the audio is not assigned. Hold on. I thought I set that up. Let's see. Come down here on audio loaded. Current room.room audio is equal to this. Let's go ahead and say debug.log current room.room audio. Okay. Oh, I bet I just don't save automatically. That is fine, I guess. So on confirm clicked. Hold on, we're gonna do some stuff here. So let's come up here. These are going to be cached values. So private string cached audio is equal to nothing. Private float cached volume is equal to 0. Or I guess it'll be 1F. Private float cached pitch is equal to 1F. Private float, not float, cached loop is equal to true. a float, it's a bool. All right. Come up here to room info. And for now, I'm just going to go ahead and keep these a public float. Room audio volume. I guess we'll just call it audio volume. Audio volume is equal to 1F public float. I can't spell float. Audio pitch is equal to 1F. Public bool audio loop is equal to true. Okay. Let's come back over here to custom room audio menu. Volume slider at normalized value is equal to current room dot audio volume. Current room dot pitch or audio pitch, and the last thing I guess is going to be loop toggle dot value is on, because that makes sense, is equal to current room dot audio loop. All right, so we're going to cache all of those values. And actually that means that we're going to basically do duplicate of this, except we're going to change these to say room label actually doesn't need to be done. Cached volume, cached pitch, and cached loop. All right. Oh, and I guess cached audio is equal to current room dot room audio. Sweet. And then I can just change all this fun stuff. So is equal to cached volume is equal to cached pitch is equal to cached loop. All right. So once we have all of our cache values initialized, then we can add a function called reset. So let's go ahead and say private void reset audio. Reset, yeah, I guess reset audio. And all of that's going to do is just say current room. It's basically going to be the inverse of what we just cached everything. So it's going to be all this stuff, but in reverse. So, and all this fun stuff is equal to that. All right. Let's see. So we're going to come down here to on cancel clicked. We will say reset audio. All right. And then on confirm click, we will say hide, but we will also say global.get custom games author session dot save custom game. Is that right? Yes. Do I have an autosave? Yep, it's just save custom game. All right. Is that right? Yep, that looks right. All right. So we're going to save it. That way everything, updates properly. And then we can actually take a look at our save file to make sure everything looks good. Okay, so on audio loaded, we get all this fun stuff. And we need to actually set our pitch stuff. So we're going to say current room dot audio volume is equal to I guess we can just say test source dot volume. That would be fine. Same thing down here for on volume changed. Do that. Let's do current room dot pitch is equal to test source dot pitch. And again, same thing over here. Let's see. On select, we know it's going to do that because we're setting current room dot room audio is all that, and loop is going to be the same thing. So we're just going to say current room dot loop is equal to value. Okay, so that should properly set up all of our values. I do need to add the JSON stuff real quick. So let's see, background room audio, peak definition. Let's do public const string room audio volume is equal to audio dash volume. Go ahead and copy this. Pitch loop. Pitch loop. Pitch loop. All right. Simple enough. Let's go ahead and copy this. Okay, so this is almost done. So room audio, audio volume, volume. It'll default to, I guess, 1F. It's not going to be a get string value, and so it's going to give you a get float value. There we go. Same thing down here. Room audio pitch. It's going to be 1F by default. And get bool value. Room audio loop. And that will be true by default. Oh, and this is going to say audio pitch and audio loop. There we go. Sweet. Got that going. Last thing to do is just do the 2JSON stuff, and then we'll be ready to test this and then probably call it a day, because it's been almost 3 hours. Been a good stream, though. Getting the audio actually working is pretty fun. Let's see. So we're just going to copy paste that 3 times, I believe. So room audio volume pitch loop, and this is going to be room, I'm sorry, not room, audio volume, audio pitch, audio loop. All right, I think we're good. I think the only thing I really need to do is I need to add that one label. Custom room. After Unity compiles, of course. And then it shall be added. Open this up. Turn on the root. Turn on our room audio. Come up here. Let's turn off our background stuff for now. Oops. Cancel. Let's see. Room label. Right. Room label. There we go. Okay. So I didn't actually even need to do that. Thought I had to do some more visual stuff. Guess I don't. Turn that off. Hit apply. Turn off the UI. Hit save. All right. I think we're good to go. We'll find out. Phew. Pretty intense custom content day. Always makes me happy. I like adding large chunks of functionality like this. It's always fun. Start. Oh, no options. Extras, author mode, create, and Zork. I'm actually curious how companies like Bethesda make their modding tools, because that would be really cool. That's kind of what I'm trying to do, just not really modding so much as just working within the bounds of things. In any case, let's go head up here, audio. Select a file, we'll call it that. Okay, let's go ahead and lower the volume to like 10. Test it out. Probably do like 30. All right. Okay, so we have that. Let's go ahead and stop. Let's confirm. I'm curious. So this should reload. Nice! It actually worked. It saved everything out. Now I don't have it set up to load that audio file yet, like when you actually start the game and all of that, but it's saving out the file name. And actually I'm assuming this isn't the file name, this is actually the path in relation to the save file. Because you got to remember this, it's basically the path is relative to whatever our save file is, it's relative to whatever our save file is. I don't know why I can't talk today. Which is this zork.ctba. And waterfall distance huge loop mono.wave is in the same folder, so we don't get any slashes or anything like that. It just means it's in the same thing. So that's good. I could, to test this further, let's plop beach over here, I guess. So let's go ahead and come up here. Let's go ahead and say close. Come down here, go to audio. And we don't have this clearing, which makes sense. Right. We don't have this stuff clearing properly, which we probably should. Let's go ahead and select a new file. Let's go to beach. And let's bump this down to like 10. Oh God. Why not? I don't like that. That's why. Okay. So next, let's go ahead and say stop. So we got all of our updated information. That's correct. And let's hit confirm. And then let's check out our save file again. Yep. See, there it is, classic games. Then we get our / and then our beach.wave. So that's good. It's saving the paths that are relative correctly. Well, all right. That's probably a decent place to stop, actually, for the day. So let me go ahead and make those minor changes to reset everything. File, custom room audio menu. There we go, all the way up here. So let's see here, room label.text, all that stuff's fine. Let's go ahead and say audio length label.text is equal to just nothing. Audio size label.text is equal to nothing for now. And then we will set our audio file label.text is equal to nothing as well. These will eventually need to actually reflect the audio file that's loaded into memory, but for now I think it's fine to not worry about them. So yeah, that's a pretty good place to stop for the day. We got file selection working, so you can select which audio files you want to load. And we have WAV and OGG files working, and we can search for MP3 files, but we can't actually load them right now. So that's gonna involve a lot more manual parsing than I would like, but I'm gonna need to do it because MP3s are probably one of the most common file formats for audio, so we need to be able to support it. We also have things like pitch manipulation and all that fun stuff, which it looks like it's storing it just fine. So 0.1, 0.3 for volume, pitch of 1. Oh, I guess I didn't save audio pitch at 1.1, but yeah, I mean, it looks fine, and the looping looks like it's fine. So, yeah, I think that's a pretty good place to stop for the day. Do I have any announcements? Not off the top of my head. All right, so we should be back on Tuesday to continue off with Well, actually, what are we going to be doing Tuesday? Oh, right. We're going to be doing more of the wizard cutscene stuff to streamline that and make it more interactive. So if you're curious, Anthony, about the story, I do recommend watching on Tuesday and Thursday of next week. We're going to be doing some more story-related cutscene stuff. But in any case, no other announcements. So as always, I want to thank you all very much for watching, and I will see you all next time.